Hello, I'm Paul Ferguson. With me is Richard Beaupre. Welcome to Turku in Finland for the second half of our program today as we feature Czechoslovakia and Switzerland.
There's a lot of personal pride. The Czechs, of course, a bit of a letdown in the early rounds of this tournament, but the Swiss have got it all to go for. They're relaxed, and I think they're going to come out and play the Czechs tough.
Richard, a lot of support here for the Swiss. They're out of the medal round. The Czechs are out of the medal round. There's no pressure on either team. It's just down to personal and national pride.
It certainly is. The Czechs have lost a lot of players to the NHL. They put together a pretty good team, but have found it tough in the early going.
Well, both teams having the final say to their goaltenders. Let's take a look at the matches today. Just one result, the Finns over the Germans, 4-2. That was a great game, went right down to the wire. The bottom half of the table, well, the Finns lead it, no surprises there. They have 9 points. The Czechs are right there with 6. They've carried their points over from the first week. The Swiss and the Germans propping up the bottom part of that table. Pavoni will start. It's the Swiss turn. We get the play underway, and right away, Czechoslovakia go on the attack, and that is pushed into the corner. Luti gets it back, all the way back to Musel. Musel takes a shot, and that whistles by the goal. Eberle, every time he touches the puck, he's the big one for Switzerland. You're going to get a roar from the crowd. Vlach loses control, and Musel picks it up.
The Czechs are going to try and control the puck. The Swiss are going to be forechecking them hard and really trying to open up the game.
Kuchera couldn't get hold of that one as Ballmer gets to the far side. The delayed offside is brought down as the Czechs bring it forward now. Kuchera taken out nicely along the boards. Ballmer slowly brings it out. Howell, the long shot. Howell pumps it back in front, intercepted right in front of the cage, and Petr Rossel now for Czechoslovakia. Back on the attack. Rossel with Dolezal being shadowed by Leuenberger, taken out of the play, but Rossel still continues to fight for the puck. The Swiss not overawed by the Czechs, starting to throw the weight around in the early stages as Rauch goes back for it, beating Dolezal to the puck, and the Swiss right back in defense here as that puck comes out into the neutral zone. Medrick, Dolezal, Medrick now, the return pass. Both teams trying to get fresh legs out on the ice. Just a couple of minutes gone here in the first period as Serban shoots it in. No score on the clock. Leuenberger for Switzerland. Weber. The long pass intercepted by Leo Gudas. Looking there for Dolezal, intercepted nicely by Weber as he gets it out of the zone. Smelik tried to dump it back in, and that goes right behind the goal to Honegger. Now the Swiss bringing it out with some purpose, some authority. Czechoslovakia back on the attack. The shadow there coming from Triuzzi, as that's hung on to by Pavoni in the Swiss cage. Let's take a look at the Swiss lineup. Pavoni is starting. Tozio, a great goaltender to back him up. Rauch is there, Bertagia, they both have experience. Lauenberger, a youngster, only 21 years old. Massey, of course, is a familiar player for Switzerland. Walder up front, Triuzzi, Vrabets, Ton, one of my favorites, and Eberle. All good players, but can they compete with the Czechs on the night?
Well, the Czechs are certainly stronger. Weber's up front in the center spot. Montandon, we've used that name before. He's been around for a while. They can do the job given the opportunity and if things are going right for them.
Well, the pressure is going to be on. The Czechs are definitely the favorites as they bring it in now. Along the hash marks, Robert Hollick pumps that into the corner. Rotelli tries to bring it out, gets it up on the wing. Walder for Switzerland gets it into the zone. Musel will go after it. Walder shadows him. 3 minutes gone in the first period, no score. Coming back now to Musel. Musel drops it back. Hollick to the far corner. The Czechs with a lot of room out to move. Bolek was upset, and Walder comes down. Taken out of the play just right on the blue as the Czechs jump over the boards, get a quick change here. The Swiss bat that into Brise. Pass right in front, the shot, and Brise comes up with a big save on Rebec. Oh, a great move by Switzerland. They really are putting on the pressure, stringing the passes together. Let's take a look at the Czechoslovakian lineup. Brise is there, Svoboda, a good goaltender to back him up. Gudas, he's been around for a while. Breznicek, Medrick, and Serban, all experienced players, along with number 12, Musil.
Even through their losses, the Czechs have still got a lot of very experienced players. Zemlika, Dolana, Lubina, they've all been here before. Vlek is a good forechecker. Dolezal, a very good playmaker. They really do things well in the center spot. Tupal, Robert Reichel off his season with the Calgary Flames. He's a good one to watch. Kuchera is a very classy center, and Hollick is very dangerous up front.
So a lot of talent on that Czechoslovakian side, but they didn't make it to the medal round. Tipped over by Bolek. The long pass intended for Russell out there with Kuchera and Dolezal. Dolezal taken out of the play nicely by Honegger. Chelio in the corner for Switzerland, taps that away. It goes as far as Reichel. Chumi. Along the boards, the long, quick break. Brise comes out. Yax was the intended receiver. And you can see, Richard, what the Swiss are trying to do. Go for that quick break on the left wing, on the right wing. The defense for Czechoslovakia are playing tight, and they could be inside for two.
By the time Robert Hollick stopped, he wasn't more than a few feet away from a chance for the Swiss to use their power play.
It's gone here in the first period. No score. The Swiss have strung a few good passes together. They've had their opportunities. Brise came up trumps once as Rebec picks it up. Nuti is out there. Andreas Ton shoots it into the corner. Nuti goes after it. Brise bangs that off the plexi. Ton again goes in to help out. Balmer to the far side. A lot of Czechs standing around as that comes out over the blue line, and the rest of the Swiss team will have to come out and start over again. Intercepted along the boards. And 1:15 on the penalty for Tagia. Good pass up on the right side. The Swiss are looking confident here in the early stages as they bring it forward. For Tagia now on the backhand side, working over the blue, backhands it into the corner. Schläger will go after it and try to get it out, and he does.
The Swiss not power play.
Leuenberger taps it up to Rauch. Rauch offside is Howell, takes it over the blue line. That's picked up by Medrick. Medrick gets it to the far side. Volek gets it out. Lubina taken out of the play nicely. 17 seconds now on the penalty. Back come the Swiss, coming right in on goal. Rauch dropping it back there to Howell. Intercepted. And the Czechs now with a 2-on-1 break. The long shot. Volek getting a piece of that. The return shot is there. Volek is in there. And Volek was right in front. The rebound is coming out. Lubina takes a shot, and again Pavoni makes the save. Some good stuff by Pavoni. Howell picks it up, tries to get it out of the zone. Rauch gets it out to Serban. Serban along the boards to Zemlichka. Zemlichka has a man right in front. Kolnick was waiting there for the pass. It didn't come. That comes all the way back to the blue. The shot right on the target. The Czechs are all around the goal. Zemlichka almost beating Pavoni, but Pavoni is hot right now. The crowd are behind him. He's looking good. We're going to take a quick break. Join us in a moment. The pressure. A lot of good forechecking from Czechoslovakia. Honegger eventually comes up with the loose puck and takes it behind the goal. And a lot of stuff happening off the play as we approach the 10-minute mark of the period. Chumi into the far corner. Brise comes way out of the cage and bats it off the woodwork. Still not kept in as that is batted down now by Jax. Smelik. Still with Smelik. The long shot. Handled nicely by Pavoni. Calls for the face-off. To go for the face-off. Rosso lost out on that, and the Swiss now dropping it back into their own territory. The long pass intended for a Triulzi goes all the way down the ice. Musel collects. The Swiss going back on the defense. Beranek took the long shot. Schläger takes the shot, and that's in the net! Schläger cruised in from the point position and makes it 1-0. Big number 9 really let that one fly.
The pressure has mainly been on the Swiss goal. Big shot from the point. There you can see Schläger getting it off. 17, Butler right in front of the goaltender. I'm not so sure as though Pavoni actually had much of a chance, and he really saw this one very clearly.
Second goal of the tournament for Schläger, and he'll enjoy that one. Defensemen love to put it in from way back at the blue line. Like to let the shot ride. Medrick for Czechoslovakia drops it back. Russell. The long pass up on the right side for Reichel. The shot, oh, hit the post. Russell picks it up. Taken out along the boards. Iberla got it into center ice. And Czechoslovakia so good at slowing down the pace when they don't want it to be quicker than they are at the moment. The drop back, the shot over the top of the net.
For Pavoni to be able to handle very well. Good aggressive work from Ladislav Lubina going for the rebound.
All the way down the ice. The official said that was tipped on as Serban picks it up for Czechoslovakia. Serban working with Volek, who decides to go forward. Intercepted nicely by Montandon. Montandon having problems with Serban. Montandon going after it. Grabek is there working with Montandon. Grabek is spun out of the play and brought to the ice. And there's going to be a penalty on the play as they start to get physical. Lubina skates towards the penalty box.
The linesman quickly getting in between the players that have come together. Some good work from Grabek. He's doing everything.
And again, we see face-off circle, and it really has become a common occurrence in this tournament. The long shot, Biza makes a save. Oh, and another one. The same thing all over again. I was about to say Leo Gudas really doing a great job at the side of the net to take the forward out of the play. And another rocket of a shot coming from way back at the blue, and Biza
gets a lot of action. He's got a good shot from the point.
Lauenberger to the hash marks. The Swiss now throwing it around nicely. Medrick goes after his man. Grabek is in there to help out. Serban along the boards. Medrick loses that one out. And the Swiss looking confident. The shot comes in. Put over to the far side. 1:19 on the penalty. Lauenberger goes deep into the corner, getting some good coverage from the wingers. And that's eventually tipped out. Black taken out of the play by the Swiss defense. They really got back quickly. 1:02 now on the Czechoslovakian penalty. Howell on the right wing, breaking fast. Howell brings it right through, going right in on goal. He shoots on Biza, makes another great save. Petr Biza, who plays for Sparta Prague, is keeping Czechoslovakia in the game at this stage.
What a lovely move from Patrick Howell. He really turns Serban inside out. Walks right in on Biza. Excellent save. Howell, I think, would love to have another chance at that one. Watch this move. Excellent move. Leaves Serban standing still. Comes in on the goaler. Good job by Biza to keep that one out of the net.
Biza again way out of the net. He really does come out to cut down the angle. Serban stays on his man. Comes over to this side now, Ballmer. Ballmer gets it into the slot area. The Swiss really throwing it around with confidence. Iberla moves into the slot area right in front of that. Urbila's there, and he swings at it and misses. Ballmer pumps it back to the hash marks. Nuti. The fans really getting behind the Swiss. They're putting the passes together, and they're looking strong. Ballmer loses that one, and the break is on for Czechoslovakia. A nice little move now by Reichel with 27 seconds, and Reichel still has the puck, and he's going for goal. Reichel takes the shot, and that's deflected into the corner. 4 seconds on the penalty, and some excellent ragging of the puck there by Reichel for Czechoslovakia. The Czechs are back to full strength. Lubina is back on the ice.
He had a couple of opportunities, and after that, the Czechs shut the box right back.
Is out there on the wing. So many NHL experienced players for Czechoslovakia. We're going to have a penalty on the play. Honegger was all over his man, and the Swiss supporters do not like that call.
The Czech supporters do. Lynch going to the box. Hooking is the call. You can see it for yourself. Honegger makes his way over. The Czechs have got a very good power play. This will be an opportunity for them to try and increase their lead.
His third penalty. And a lot of talent, Richard, on this Czechoslovakian side. We see Robert Hollick, who plays for Hartford, out there along with David Volek. NHL experience all over the ice.
Well, the season that the Czechs had last year and with the World Championships, the NHL were scouting them. Hartford, of course, really impressed with Hollick. He had 19 goals and 20 assists this year for 39 points with the Whalers.
Ballmer gets it out. Zmelik goes deep. 1:48 on the Swiss penalty. Less than 5 minutes on the first period. The Czechs bring it out over the blue, over the red. Coming back to Volek to the far side. Serban gets an unlucky bounce. Has to go over the blue, so Czechoslovakia will have to come out and start it again. Volek's pass is intercepted. Zmelik leaves it for Hollick. Trail the Czechs by 1. Petr Briza between the pipes for Czechoslovakia has played really well. He's got a clean sheet so far, and that could be the kiss of death for him. Whatever you mention, as we mentioned before, that a goaltender has a shutout, and no sooner do you say that than he loses it. Just 3 seconds now on the penalty, and the Czechs are now back at full strength. The puck in the corner. The Swiss playing from left to right. Really have played well. They're looking for the quick break all the way down to Iberle. Just a bit too far for him, and the whistle blows for icing.
The Swiss coming in as underdogs have played very well. They had a good period. Petr Briza did play very well in the goal, as did Pavoni. The Swiss aren't out of it. They're only down by a goal. They killed off a couple of penalties. Fought pretty cleanly and hard with the Czechs all through the first 20 minutes. I look at them to try and press the play and get themselves back into it in this period.
Pavoni gets set into that stance of his. Reichel against Montandon. That comes out to the blue line. Verbeek shoots it off the boards and gets it into Czech territory. Medrick. The pass batted down in the neutral zone. The break is on there for Verbeek and Montandon. These two really do play well together, 13 and 23. But the big question, of course, Richard, is can they stay the distance? Can they go the full 60 minutes?
They are up against a pretty strong skating Czech side. Physically, the Czechs are probably stronger as well, but I think the Swiss have got a lot of heart, and they're going to stay in there.
Lauenberger chases this one, and eventually it's picked up by Rauch. Montandon along the boards. Coming to the rescue is Melik. 1 minute gone in the second period. Dolezal getting that one forward. Rossel, Reichel. Rossel trying to pick it up. Taken off the stick by Verbeek. To the far side. Dolezal gets it back to the blue. It's tipped in, and the Czechs now are throwing the puck around with confidence, with ease, right in front of the goal. No one there for Czechoslovakia to pick it up, and Reichel is face down on the ice.
That's not a good sign. Reichel went down really hard at the blue line, not getting up at all. I would have to say this could be serious.
No sympathy there from the Finnish supporters.
It was one of those hits where the play is made, he passes the puck, his leg goes one way, his body goes the other way. That can hurt. That could be a knee injury. Certainly hate to see it with Robert Reichel. He has so much talent, young player. He certainly doesn't need this kind of an injury.
Reichel running into Howell. And Reichel comes off the ice with some assistance. These teams face-to-face have played 20. 2 of the games have been tied, but the Czechs have won 16. The Swiss only 2. The Czechs have scored 120 goals to 31 of the Swiss. Well, it's a different story right now out on the ice. The Swiss are looking strong, but how long will they last? That's the question. Yaks taken out of the play as Hollick gets to the far side. Zmelik flips it in to the side of the net. Volek is there. And there's going to be a penalty on the play once again. Lubina was dropped to the ice.
Once again, a Czech player goes down like a ton of bricks. High stick. Honegger is going to go off again. That's his second penalty of the game. Being aggressive is one thing, but getting the stick up high like this is another thing. He's lucky to only get away with 2 minutes. You can see Lubina go down. Couldn't have gotten down any quicker than he did. The stick came up very high.
The Czechs with Hollick getting it into the far corner. And eventually the Swiss get it out to the red line with Serbat putting the glove on it. Hollick picks it up for Czechoslovakia. A pass on the left wing to Serban. Serban flips it all the way around the boards. 2 minutes gone on the period. Lubina couldn't hang on to that. Zmelik kept it in and gave it to Volek. Volek bats it around the corner. Lubina taps it back to Volek, and that squirts out over the blue. And Serban goes deep. Serban with Hollick. Serban sees an opening and has to regroup at the red line. Lubina was way offside. Robert Hollick now for Czechoslovakia. The pass right up the middle, looking for the quick break. Dolezal is taken out of the play. 1:04 now on the clock for the penalty. Ballmer will go for a skate and kill this one off. The cheers coming from the Swiss supporters as Vertagia shoots it all the way down the ice. Again, we see them killing off right up the middle. Russell takes it into the corner, drops it back. Musil takes the shot. That hits a defenseman. Musil picks it up and gets it back to the blue line. Shot in by Schläger to the back of the goal. It's still 9 seconds on the penalty as that goes into the far corner. Dolezal is there to bat it back in. Volek. Czechoslovakia still with the pressure on. The penalty has expired. And the Swiss now with Honegger getting it forward. Grebeck going in on the backhand side, being shadowed there by Musil. Grebeck taps it all the way back. The shot right on the goal. Brise made the save. Tupal comes up with the loose puck and brings it forward now. Tupal over the red, taps it forward. Zemlichka stopped on the hash marks, gets it into the corner, and Massey picks it up. Massey taken out of the play nicely. Kuchera going after that. Zemlichka brings it down with the glove, and the Czechs are doing everything but scoring. Kuchera. Still Kuchera. Try to get it over to the right wing. That went off a skate. Weber broke that up. Weber still brings it forward. Squeezed out of the play heavily by Kolnick. Kolnick for Czechoslovakia, looking for support. Gives it off now to number 22, Zemlichka, and he puts it into the far corner. Nuti taken out of the play, and the Swiss get it as far as the blue line. Kuchera. Kuchera goes in, takes the shot, the rebound is there, and it's cleared away. Pavoni coming up with a save. Weber with 5:06 gone in the period, breaks hard for Switzerland, takes the shot. Brise looked a bit shaky on that one.
Brise hasn't been tested as of late. Maybe the reflexes were a bit slow. He didn't react very quickly, and that shot was a potential goal.
Breznik, check. The Czechs trying to get a change out there. They finally got fresh legs, and now they move forward. Bernanke, the long shot, ends up behind the goal. Honegger still flips it high. The long pass, no one there to get on the end of it. Smelik. Serban along the boards for Czechoslovakia. Jutler gets the touch, the two-line pass, the indication from the official, and we'll have a face-off.
Good look at Robert Hollick.
Hollick gets it back, and eventually it's tipped out of the zone. Bertaglia. 6:03 gone in the period. Well, some great action in the stands here. The fans are really mixing it up with each other. Funny faces, the flags are waving. A bit of a wave they're trying to get going here in Turku. They haven't got the full complement of spectators as my co-commentator joins in and jumps up in the air when the wave comes around. Volek gives that one off. Hollick. Intercepted there by Ton. Andreas Ton now for Switzerland. Over the blue, still it's Ton as he's brought to the ice. Taken out of the play right in front of the goalie. Bertaglia taps it forward, and the Swiss now on the attack. Iberle. The long shot way wide of the target from Massey. Montandon gets it into the corner. Serban tries to bring it out. The wraparound, the shot is set, they score! The Swiss made something out of nothing to level the score, and look at this crowd.
A good job of forechecking, good hard work pays off for 24. Eberle, as he's really on top of the Czech defenseman behind the goal. He strips it away from Smelik, passes it out in front. There's his man, Andre Ton, in front of the goal. Watch 18, there's the shot, very quickly taken. Briza's been beaten. 1 goal and 5 assists for 6 points for Ton in the tournament.
Ton really enjoyed that one. The score is level, 7 minutes gone here in the second period.
This could be just what the Swiss needed. They've broken the bubble that Briza had. Can they keep going and score a few more?
Czechoslovakia now with Russell. Russell working to the left side. Russell slams on the brakes. A chance perhaps to shoot as he tries to work in front of the goal. Russell gets the backhand in there. It's not a difficult one for Pavoni. Kept in now. Russell still muscling along the boards. Number 21, Beranek is there. Beranek picks it up. Beranek walks right in. He hits the post. And that goes into the crowd. Beranek is annoyed with himself.
Josef Beranek slams himself into the boards after that shot. He had the whole top corner. The Swiss defense broke down momentarily. 2 defensemen caught in front of into the corner. Beranek allowed to walk right out of the corner with the puck. Here he is all by himself. Oh, did he ever have a chance there? Pavoni was well deep into his net. I'm sure he'd like to have another chance at that shot.
Pavoni was really hugging that corner. He gave him the far side of the cage, and Beranek just couldn't put it in. The face-off in the neutral zone. Honegger. What a game this has turned out to be, as the Swiss really have come out flying in this second period. Weber intercepted that one. Zemlichka picked it up and put it to the far side. The return pass. Some good stuff from Kolnick, but this time he can't keep it in the zone. The race is on. Yaks taken out of the play, and Yaks is out for the count.
You can see that one a mile away. He really went into the boards hard. Briza's over there, the Czech goalie that is, having a look at him. Triolzi comes in quickly to see how he is. The trainer's being rushed on the ice. He really went into the boards hard. Nothing dirty, nothing illegal, just after the play, lost his footing, really went in hard. He's listening for familiar voices, he's counting his fingers, he's doing anything he can do to try and prove to himself that he's still alive. He really went in hard.
Well, that's what they like to see. coming off under his own steam. He'll take a break as we take a look at this again. Reznicek took him into the boards, but as you say, it really was 50-50.
There's nothing wrong with that. Reznicek just finishing off his check. Doesn't hit him very hard. He just gets enough of him. Yaks loses his balance and really goes into the boards. Full force. He did well to get up and skate away from that one.
Now the face-off in the neutral zone. The Swiss, as I said, have come out playing hard hockey in this game. They have absolutely nothing to lose, and it's showing out there. They're playing loose, playing confidently, and they're stringing some good passes together. Right now, it's a 1-1 game. Massey, the backhand flip. Triulzi, Massey goes in to help out. Triulzi has no one to pass to. One too many white shirts is out there. The shot coming right in on target. Picked up by Rotelli. Triulzi along the boards, way back at the blue. Buechner getting a piece of that. That scoots all the way around to Kuchera. Flip to the far side. The Swiss now going through a great spell. Buechner gets it up. The return pass into the center ice zone. And the Czechs are under pressure. Serban getting it out. Going down on the right wing. Bertagia is dumped. Play allowed to continue. And it really is good end-to-end stuff. Musil slams on the brakes. Musil drops it back for Dolezal. It's too far. Bertagia trying to get it out of the zone. A good little move there along the boards. Beranek with Volek. Volek scoots that in behind the Swiss net. Hollick shoots it back in. Luti tries to get it out, and again the Swiss have problems. Coming over to Musil. Musil takes the shot. That hits a skate, or hits a stick rather. A skate gets it forward, and the Swiss now break hard. Going right in on goal. Brisa, that's in the net! Totally against the run of play. The Swiss have scored again, and they lead this one 2-1 in the second period.
Both teams looking terrible in their own defensive end. Brisa looks bewildered. The Swiss are delighted. It's a great opportunity. The puck is moved out. It's number 18, Ton again, who's on the tear. He gets all of this one. Brisa doesn't react quick enough to even get the glove out. There it is. It's in the goal.
Oh, that was a rocket of a shot from Andreas Ton. And the Swiss are leading this one 2-1 in the second period.
Both teams really have forgot about defensive hockey. It's all go offensively. Both goalies are being tested right, left, and center.
Reznicek got that one forward. Beranek on his own in the neutral zone. And this is what the Czechs do best. Czech in the neutral zone, and the Swiss are playing them at their own game. They really are taking the sting out of their tails before they get going. Reznicek gets that to the far side. Black to Rossel. Rossel, a nice little move by him, but he runs into one too many red shirts as Rauch gets it up. Switzerland on the attack. The shot over the top of the net by Howell. And that was labeled for just under the crossbar. That's what he was aiming for. The Swiss, against all odds, are leading this one 2-1. The Czechs really have their backs to the wall, but they have so much talent on that bench that they can strike at any time. But Andreas Ton has really turned this Swiss team right around and turned this game around in the second period. He scored 2 quick goals, and the Swiss look like world beaters right now.
Well, there were reports that Ton didn't want to come to the tournament to begin with, was talked into it, and he's here playing with his line mates from HC Lugano.
Rubina got the pass over to Chelio. Brisa. Smelik. The long pass up to Volek. The Czechs from time to time, stringing the passes together as Bolek goes in up against the boards. Chumi is all over him. Chumi. Zmelik. Weber takes his man out along the boards. And again, we see some stuff with Bolek mixing it up. And Chumi, some pushing and shoving after the whistle too, and that's the kind of thing that has been going on throughout these two periods. Neither team relaxing to the point where they want to give anything away. The Swiss are treating this as if it's a gold medal game, and they want this one. They want the 2 points.
There are a lot of people wearing Finland jerseys cheering for the Swiss. A good look at Toomey and Bolek going at it along the boards. Nothing serious.
Butler. A long pass up to the hash marks, and the Swiss getting it out into the neutral zone. Triulzi pops it back in, being shadowed there by Kuchera. Some good forechecking from him, and you really can't give the Czechs much room in there. Slager shoots that back in. Goes back to Musil. Musil pumps it into the corner. Kuchera is there. He's taken out of the play. Block goes in to help out, and Switzerland now break hard. Coming down the right wing, the Swiss on the attack. Chelio with Rotelli. Walder losing control. And Zemlichka for Czechoslovakia back on the attack. Some good stuff from the Swiss as they bring their wingers back hard. Kuchera taken out along the boards by onto it, and really tempers are starting to flare out there. Zmelik got a push or two in the corner, and Briza had to be quick to pounce on that loose puck. And David Lynch has seen it all before, and he's letting those incidences ride in the corner.
Even when the play gets heated up, it doesn't seem to break the rhythm of Dave Lynch's gum chewing activities. Keeps the gum going and maintains his composure.
Back to the blue, the shot. The loose puck is there. Butler got a piece of that from way back at the blue line. And Czechoslovakia now breaks strong. Massey takes his man in the boards. That's Zemlichka for Czechoslovakia. As he gets back to the defenseman, the shot takes a deflection. Pass, or was it a shot coming from Black, was grabbed by Pavoni. 2-1 the score. The Swiss are leading this one. Just over 2 minutes remaining on the clock here in the second period. It really has been good end-to-end ice hockey. Walder working forward with Triulzi. And the Czechs coming forward to forecheck right around the goal there. They don't want the Swiss to get started. They know what they can do once they get the wheels going. Triulzi picks it up, tries to get it forward. That's batted down. Now the Czechs on the attack. Vlach, the backhand right in front. Zemlichka was there. Really couldn't get the wood on it. Zemlichka picks it up now. Goes on the backhand side, back on the forehand side to go the far corner. Zemlichka still skating with the puck. Tries to get it to the far side of the rink, and that went off a skate. Some good stuff by the Swiss to stay right. The break is on now. Going right in on goal, number 21. Baranek again is robbed.
Excellent job from Pavoni. Baranek has had 2 good opportunities in the game and hasn't cashed in yet.
Good play by the Swiss in the neutral zone as Musil goes deep and gets it to the far side. Schlager tapping it forward. 1 minute on the clock. Return pass right there, number 15. Dolezal took a shot, and that's wide of the target. Coming up on the right wing, a lot of pushing and shoving, the odd punch here and there. Briza comes out, taps it over to Dolezal. Dolezal starts it back up the ice. The long pass, looking for 21, Baranek, and he finds him. Batagia takes his man down.
Dave Lynch looks as though that arm is stuck in the air. Now he brings it down for the trip.
Well, let's take another look at this one. Along the boards, Bertagia. Baranek falls. Bertagia is right behind him.
Some good work from Baranek to keep the legs going. Bertagia not only gets a 2-minute penalty, but breaks his stick on the play.
And he skates slowly over to the penalty box. 2-1 the score here in the second period. The Swiss are in the lead, and this is not the kind of thing that they want on the clock. Leuenberger. Pollock to the far side. Tipped into the corner. 20 seconds now on the clock. 1:44 on the penalty, so it'll go into the third period. Smelik to the far side. Serban takes the shot. The rebound is right there. Hollick is up. Rauk got his stick up, and Hollick had words with Rauk. Some good stuff from the Czechs, unable to put it in. Watch the one-timer from Serban.
Serban one-times the shot to the goal. Hollick is right there, just waiting to pounce on a rebound. It doesn't come to him. Lubina had tried to tip the shot initially. Good play as Rauk takes him out. Pavoni makes the save and holds on.
Leuenberger gets it all the way out to the blue line. Not a good clearance by him. The shot from the side of the net by Smelik. The wraparound. Pavoni is down. There goes the buzzer to end the second period as Hollick goes head-to-head with Montandon, and they really are starting to mix it up in front of the goal.
Hollick is doing his job, trying to create problems around the front of the goal. Swiss defense standing right up to him.
Well, no one wants to leave the ice right now. That was the buzzer to end the period. Ton has scored twice, so the Swiss lead it right now 2-1 as we go into the third and final period.
13 red, they both have roughing.
Dave Lynch very assertive on the call.
White,
He's got
13 red,
penalty going,
roughing,
one to the
roughing.
Swiss
Yeah,
and one to the Czechs right at the end of the period.
We're going to take a short break. Join us in a moment for the third and final period. Lots of action to come.
Out around the front of their own goal, and they've put 2 pucks in the net to 1 against, so it's for real.
Ton had a great second period, picking up 2 goals. Slager started things off for Czechoslovakia in the first period, and that's the way it stands now. Both teams with men in the penalty box. As we start this period, the Czechs will be playing from left to right, and they come down on the attack. Big number 9, Schleger, gets it into Pavoni. That scoots around to the far side. 22 seconds gone on the period. Musil calling for it. Schleger takes the shot, and the save is there from Pavoni. He saw that one all the way. Zemlichka was standing right beside him, waiting for the rebound.
Nice to see a little bit of sportsmanlike action in front of the goal. Slager let this one go from the point. Zemlichka's in front. Good glove save. You can see Zemlichka give Pavoni a little tap on the pads. Pavoni gives him the complimentary tap back.
Slager, another shot, whistles high over the net. Kuchera can't hang on to that. And the Swiss shoot it all the way down the ice and get a change. Coming back hard, 41 seconds on the penalty. Working his way into the corner is Block. He gets that around to the far side to Musil. Musil pumps it back in behind the goal. That comes out to the hash marks. Slager goes after it, flips it to the far side, and then was totally dispossessed. Howard tries to bring it up. Montandon gets it back to the blue. 1:07 gone in the third period. 17 seconds on the penalty. A lot of support here for the Swiss. They really are enjoying what they're going through right now. Baranek takes a shot, and they're going through a very good spell. They had a good second period. Some great forechecking, excellent back-checking. They played well in their own zone. That comes out to the blue. It's kept in, and the offside whistle blows. Nothing to be ashamed of yet for the Swiss. I know they ended up right near the bottom of the table, but they really are putting in a good performance here against Czechoslovakia.
Both teams back to equal strength. Hans Lindberg The Swedish coach, who is taking the reins for the Swiss side, has got to be pleased with what he's seen so far from his team.
Baranek, who's played so well, got that back in the break now. The backhand shot coming from Andreas Thon. Thon still tries to hang on to it, drops it back to Eberle. One too many white shirts there to pick it up, and now Czechoslovakia breaks. Baranek on the wrong wing gets it over right in front of the slot, back to the blue line, and that's batted down by Bertagia. He gets it all the way around to the far side. Nuti. Bertagia. A long pass, too far for anyone. Reznicek gives it over to Medrick, and that goes into the far corner. Bertagia takes a hit and is dropped by Dolezal. Well, that looked innocent enough. Pollock is back at the blue, along with Smelik. Russell slams on the brakes. Well, you could see that coming. Russell tried to get it through the skate, and that bounced off Ballmer's skate and goes into the far corner. Bertagia watches that go by, and the Swiss have lots of time to pick it up in the corner. Ballmer brings it out slowly. Ballmer sees the opportunity, takes the shot on Brise, and he steers it to the corner. To the far side, Howell goes after that, circles at the circle. Still it's Howell trying to work his way in front, checked out of the play by Dolezal, who gets it to the far side. Lubina now. Lubina and Dolezal and Hollick breaking forward for Czechoslovakia. Offside is the call right at the blue line.
Lubina held up for just a second. Pollock couldn't keep himself on sides. Good move from Lubina. He very cheekily threw the puck through the defenseman's skates. Robert Hollick, 28, is just off sides.
Nevesley must be concerned about this scoreline. The Czechs are trailing by one here in the third period. Musil shoots that in, and it comes whistling out again, and Volek along with Slager. Slager, the long shot, way up over the net. That comes bouncing back right in front. Lubina gets it back nicely to Musil. Musil, the lazy shot is deflected off a defenseman's pad. Coming down on the left wing is Howell. He stopped short. The Czechs now throwing together some good moves in the neutral zone as they go back deep into their own territory to bring it out. Weaver shadows his man, Hollick. Hollick backhands that as far as the Swiss defense, and Musil has to go back to pick it up. To Schleger. Schleger, the little tip forward. Luck is taken out of the play, and Hollick picks it up. Looking for Musil, he finds him at the top of the circle, being shadowed by Weber. The wraparound right in front. Zemlichka's there and couldn't get the shot away. This time it's in the net. Hollick came up with the puck. Number 28 for Czechoslovakia has leveled the score.
Well, there's a lot of action around the front of the goal. Hollick manages to come in and get a wrist shot away and find the back of the net. There's bodies all over. There's Hollick coming into the screen. There's his stick, the shot. Pavoni's down, can't come up with a save.
Block was there, Zemlichka was there, right between the pads eventually from Robert Hollick, his third goal of the tournament. 2-2 now the score. The break now for Kuchera, Jelinek. The shot right on the target, Pavoni pounces on it. Some good cross-checking there from number 17, Butler.
Pavoni looking a little bit rattled. Not so sure of himself after that second goal has just slipped in. You can see that the Czechs are really trying to force more of the play to the front of that net to penetrate the Swiss defense.
Zemlichka is tied up on the play, cleared out by Butler. Reznicek to the far side. Medrick gets it forward. Kuchera to the far wing. Kuchera calling for the return pass. It doesn't come. The shot comes in. And Pavoni, with Kuchera all over him, makes the save.
Things seem to be going the Czechs' way at the moment. More of the pressure is now being applied to Pavoni than Briza's getting.
There were always doubts, Richard, about the ability of the Swiss to stay with the Czechs. The Czechs have that skating power. A lot of NHL, a lot of European stars out there, and they've been able to go the distance before, whereas the Swiss in the past have run out of steam just about this point in the game. That goes back out over the blue line, brought in, and the official quick to react on that and blow it down for a face-off.
These are right out of a game, and they've just played controlled hockey and brought themselves back into it. Maybe the Czechs are going to do the same.
Baranek won the draw, got it over to the wing. Smelek for Czechoslovakia, taps it to Russell. The return pass comes in on the backhand side. Number 21 there is Baranek. He's been so active, working well with Russell. That goes back to Smelek. He takes the shot way wide of the target to the far side, and the Swiss now find themselves under pressure. Some good forechecking here from Czechoslovakia, in particular Russell as he comes out of the corner. Russell back to Smelek on the backhand side. That hits a skate, but Smelek picks it up for a second attempt. Again, Smelek goes after it. Dolezal pinned against the boards. Luti gets it out as far as the blue line. Baranek keeps it in. Smelek has all the time in the world, gets it right in front. Oh, and Pavoni made the save on Russell, but he didn't know he had it.
Seemed as though Pavoni was down a bit early. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. The linesman doing a good job to quickly get in there and separate the players.
Again, Smelek right in front of the net. Russell takes the shot. Pavoni looks around and says, where is it? Hey, I've got it.
31 red.
Penalties being handed out.
I'm losing my voice now. 15 white. They both have slashing.
You can hear Dave Lynch saying, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. He hasn't had to use it a real lot, but maybe he does a lot of talking between periods. I'm not sure. Balmer will go to the penalty box for slashing, and he'll be joined by Dolezal. Each team will be down a man.
Still in the third period, the score is level at 2 goals apiece. And the puck has been going one way since this period started, and that's against the Swiss. Some good poke checking there. The long shot coming in from Slager, deflected away, and again, Slager gets his stick on it to intercept that long pass. Musel to Slager, back to Musel. Musel along the boards now. Taken out of the play by Howell. Musel, the long shot. Pavoni made the save. Rauch brings it down and brings it out. 1:30 on the penalties, 16-18 gone on the period. Slager to the far side. He really does direct traffic when he's out there. That's tipped into the corner by Musel. And the Czechs with Slager batting it back in. Lauenberger being shadowed there by Bolek. Howell breaking around Slager. Howell now looking for the wraparound. It's right in front, and that's in the net! Well, I was just saying how good Slager was, but he was beaten to it there. The Swiss have scored their 3rd goal.
We've mentioned earlier that Patrick Howell really does have good wheels, really can fly down the left side of the ice. The SC Burn star really turns it on here. He goes around the outside. Slager can't get a piece of him. Just tries to wrap around. It's off a skate. Briza can't come up with it. A good effort here from number 10, Patrick Howell.
Goaltender's nightmare. Pucks along the ice, coming off skates, then deflected off Musel. Howell gets his 3rd goal. I had just finished saying how good Slager was. Oh, and Briza fanned on that save. It didn't go in the net, but he lost sight of that one once again. The long shots coming from all angles on both goaltenders. Rotelli. 35 seconds now on the penalties. This is really opened up here in the 3rd period. Medrick to the far side. Treluzzi gets it back. Some excellent play here from Switzerland. As I said, a lot of people thought they would be out of this. The break now right in on Briza. Treluzzi had a go at it again, and Briza was there. Medrick to the far side.
The Czechs have really gone flat. The Swiss are out skating them at both ends of the ice. They've pulled the one goal back to take the lead again, but they're going to get more if the Czechs don't pick up their game a little bit.
Beranek tries to do it himself, eventually gives it off to Dolezal. He's back out on the ice. Russell stops and gives it back to Smelik. And the Swiss are playing the Czechs at their own game. The short passes, they really are stringing them together. Servant races against Iberle, beats him to it and puts it to the far side. Some nice stuff coming from both teams, but right now it's Switzerland who are leading 3-2 here in the third period. The shot is faked by Beranek. Beranek fans on the pass out front, and Rauch picks it up for Switzerland. Rauch can't get it out from behind the goal, and eventually that's tipped into the neutral zone by Bertagia. The break now is on. Luti goes in, takes the shot. Breeze makes a save. The rebound is there, and Beranek picks it up for Czechoslovakia. Gives it off to Russell. Back to Beranek. He takes the shot, and Pavoni makes the save. What a game this is. End-to-end ice hockey action. Iberle goes after it and tips it out, and the whistle blows, and we'll have a face-off. Excellent stuff at the far end of the rink. A lot of action up in the stands. The Swiss supporters really getting behind this team. Luti with the break here, going right in on Briza, a key save, and again on the rebound. Cleared eventually at the last moment. Serban getting a stick to it.
Luti just about finds that opening between the legs.
To get it back to Volek. Some good back checking there by Montandon. Volek tries to get the loose puck, gets the shot away, the rebound doesn't come. Pavoni makes the save.
19, David Volek. Very dangerous forward. He's excellent on the forecheck. Even up or short-handed, he really does have a knack for getting the puck away from the defenseman. Gets a quick wrist shot off here. Pavoni's got to be on his toes.
Face off again with Hollick doing the honors for Czechoslovakia, trying to get it back. The Swiss pick it up and break. 2-on-2 now. Some good work on the D on Howald. Schlager getting the poke check. That's tipped out of the zone by Musil, attempting to go for Hollick, and Rauch breaks that up right on the red. Schlager goes deep, being shadowed there by Howald. All the way around to the far side, and the Czechs now looking to get something going. Intercepted right in front. The shot is taken away. Montandon had a golden opportunity and dropped the pass back.
Can't believe Montandon dropped the puck back. He had a clear go right to the net, and he threw it back.
Well, we'll ask him off after the game what he was thinking. Working right in front. Triuzzi, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. Musil goes over to pick up a stick. And the Czechs are going to have a man in the box for the next 2 minutes. We're going to take a short break. Lots of action to come. Stay with us. Against the Czechs, and right now they're performing miracles. Bertagia, the big defenseman, taken out of the play, but the Swiss hang on to the puck. Iberle, Bertagia, giving that one away in the neutral zone. Kuchera, he can be dangerous. Waltzes right in, eventually taken out of the play at the last minute. 1:21 on the penalty. Bertagia gets it up on the wing. And now the Czechs try to set it up to get it out of the zone. Batted back in into the corner. Ballmer on the D. Ballmer to Luti. And listen to the crowd responding to this power play. They're doing exactly what the Czechs love to do, throwing it around, taking their time. They don't want to waste too much time as this comes back to Ballmer. Back at the blue line. The Czechs are under pressure. Tipped to the side of the goal. Cleared away along the boards, but Ballmer will stop it at the blue line. Tips it in to Luti. A nice little move to get it back to Ballmer. He fakes the shot and gives it to Luti. That comes off a skate. Iberle is muscled off the puck, and the Swiss get it back to the point. Bomber takes a shot, they score! Four to two, the score now. The Swiss have increased their lead by 2. The big shot for the blue line. Bomber was right there.
The Swiss did the right thing. They moved the puck back to the point and went for the shot there. They were getting no penetration to the goal by keeping the puck down low. A very heads-up play. They threw it around the net, all the way back out to the blue line. 31, Bomber really teased this one up. A lot of time, the big wind-up. It's on its way to the goal. Briza did not have much of a chance. There's a lot of action in front of him.
You're right, Richard. 3 bodies right there in front of him. Did he see that? I don't know, but the score now is 4 to 2. The Swiss are leading the Czechs. And what a result this could be. The Czechs have struggled since day one. And right now in the second phase of this Group A World Championship competition, they're struggling again. Baranek gets it up to the far side, too far for Dolezal as that goes all the way into Swiss territory. Zmelik taps it in slowly, and Rauch picks it up. Out to the blue line and all the way down the ice. And the Swiss will be happy just to keep it out of the zone.
This is the time in the game where they've really got to play their best hockey. They can't try and sit on the lead. They've got to keep going at the Czechs.
Russell tries to do it on his own, comes up against Lauenberger, and Rauch picks up the loose puck, gives it to Howell. They can't keep it out of the zone. Russell's right there in the move, right in front. And Baranek, how did he miss that? Russell was all over the goaltender. Baranek walked right in and took a swipe at it, and he couldn't put it in the net. This man right now is a hero.
Pavoni saving the day. The Swiss very sloppy to get the puck out of the zone. It's a giveaway. Russell and Baranek are on their way. It just doesn't come off for them.
Hey, when it's not your night, it's not your night. Isn't that the same guy who hit the post at the other end?
Baranek has had a breakaway. He's hit the post with a shot. Just can't buy a goal. Him and Russell teamed up very well. Pavoni robs him.
That net was wide open. Pollock in the face-off circle. Rotelli for the Swiss. And when the puck is rolling your way, it certainly rolls your way. The Swiss right now have all the luck on their side, but this one is far from over. Triuzzi gets that up the ice, and the break is on. Briza taps it back down the ice. The Czechs with Musil losing control of that, and that's kicked in. Massey wins that confrontation in the corner. And the Swiss taking Labina out in the neutral zone. Some rough stuff along the boards. Walder trying to break free there, but the Czechs shoot it back into Swiss territory. And the Swiss really are jumping on these loose pucks, getting to them first, and making the most of it. Musil fights off his man and gets that up to Hollick. Hollick freewheels that into the neutral zone. Balmer, the goal scorer, pumps it back into the zone. And the Czechs have got their heads down right now. Hollick stops and gets it forward. Zemlichka will start it up again as we approach the 14-minute mark. 6 minutes now left on the period. Zemlichka takes a shot. That goes off the plexi. It's still kept in the zone by Smelik. To the far side, Blok. Iberle couldn't keep it out. And the Czechs with Peter Blok shooting it into Zemlichka. Zemlichka being roughed up along the boards, still has a chance with Luti all over him. Balmer. Balmer, the rink-wide pass to the far side. The shot, Briza makes the save. Tips it to Servant, and Luti is all over him. Servant moving with Zemlichka, the long pass. The delayed offside, you can see what happened there. That took a deflection. The Czechs well over the line. The Swiss now with Peter Russell and Baranek out there. The shot goes into the far corner, comes out over the blue line, and Howell hits the far blue line. Dolezal for Czechoslovakia. Gives that up onto the left wing. Baranek drops it back to Musil. The shot hits a couple of skates there, and Leuenberger pops that into the crowd. And we're going to have another face-off all the way back to the blue. The slap shot takes a deflection into the corner. Triuzzi picks it up and puts it to the far side. Switzerland now breaking hard. They've got all the confidence in the world as they flip it into the far corner. The Czechs happy just to get it out of the zone and out.
The Czechs just really haven't made the most of the opportunities that they have had. Baranek, Lubina, they've all been there and had some great opportunities, just can't quite make them pay off.
Massey is calling for it back at the blue, but that's pushed into the corner. Zmelik gets it to the far side. Up on the wing, Block. Lubina skates right by the puck. Bolek is there trying to help him out. That comes off a body. The loose puck is right in front. It doesn't go away. Bolek now picks it up. The referee's arm is in the air. There's going to be a penalty on the play.
Problem making the call.
So Walder will sit. Ballmer tries to clear it out of the zone. Less than 4 minutes remaining on the clock as that goes Kuchera gets it back, but it's too far for anyone. The break is on. Iberla coming down, slams on the brakes, takes the shot. Riese makes the save. Schläger picks it up. Luti is there to help out for the Swiss. And number 20, Block, is brought to the ice. Play allowed to continue. Musil goes back.
As Black landed on the ice, you could see him looking right at Dave Lynch as if to say, where's the call?
The call didn't come. Dolezal looking for the pass there as he skated by Block. Schläger shoots it to the far corner. The return pass comes in. The shot is right there. The net is wide open. Baranek again. How does this guy miss that net? He had a wide open shot, and Baranek now picks it up. Gets it back to Musil. Musil takes the shot, and that's deflected wide. Zemlichka to the hash marks. Steered away by Pavoni. Zemlichka again behind the goal, gets it out in front. Baranek is there, and I think if I was the coach, I'd take that guy off. He's playing his heart out, but he really can't buy a goal out there tonight.
After the game, the team better stay close to Baranek. He's probably going to be suicidal. The net being fixed back onto its moorings.
In this, 45 seconds on the penalty, just over 2.5 on the game. The Swiss fans cannot believe their luck. They're winning this one 4-2, and time is running out for Czechoslovakia. Right in front of the net, Russell scores! Baranek set him up, and Russell made no mistake. He was left all alone, and a chance now for the Czechoslovakian fans to celebrate. They're not out of this one yet.
Petro Russell's all by himself, way in the back of that crowd. Just pushes the puck over to the backhand and dekes the goaltender out. Pavoni not to blame for this one. It's him against Russell, and Russell wins. A nice deke, puts the puck in the goal. You can see 23 Montandon desperately trying to get back. But all the Swiss were on one side. Russell smartly stayed away from it and got a nice pass.
Four to 3 now the score. The Swiss are still leading as Hollick gets it back to the D, and Smelik backhands it in. The Swiss with Bertagia trying to bring it out. Bertagia rifles that off the boards, and it goes out over the blue. Serban to the far side. Bolek shoots it in, and the whistle blows.
The Czechs have just got to be smart. They've got to get 2 men after the puck, dump it into the zone, and go for it.
Serban drops that one off. Watch the Czechs now. Every man will go forward. 2 minutes on the clock. Hollick into the corner for Czechoslovakia. Smelik is there to help out. Lubina is there too. Hollick picks it up. Loses control to Ballmer. Ballmer backhands that out of the zone, and that goes deep. Smelik for Czechoslovakia. Quickly puts it up to the blue. 1.5 minutes now on the clock. Servin, the weak shot. Stopped there by Pavoni, and the Swiss will slowly take it out of the zone.
That's not the shots that the Czechs want. They don't want it at the goaltender so that Pavoni can control the puck and do what he wants with it. They've got to get it in and work it out of the corners.
Dolezal is taken to the ice as he loses possession, and the Swiss now bring it up on the left wing. Howell taken out of the play by Slager. At Slovakia coming back strong. Howell picks up the loose puck. Dolezal takes it away from him and drops it off to the far side. Russell just can't reach it, and Montandon loses possession of that. Russell gets himself right back in the game, and the race is on here. Brise to Russell. The tip to the far side of the rink, and Dolezal comes up with it. 35 seconds now on the clock. The Swiss playing with the Czechs out there, taking the time to get it out as Brise comes out of his cage. The puck is right in front of the goal. Can they get the shot away? This time it comes, it's wide of the target. Czechoslovakia pumping it back in, and it's too far for anyone, and that's going to go deep for Smelnik. 10 seconds now on the clock. The quick break coming right in is Hollick. Hollick takes the shot, and Pavoni is there. The return pass is behind the goal. 3 seconds on the clock. Eberle will have the last touch, and there goes the buzzer to end the game. What a finish for Switzerland. They almost gave it right back to Czechoslovakia, but they held on, and the fans are celebrating. What a victory, 4-3 for Switzerland over Czechoslovakia.
A well-deserved, hard-fought victory for the Swiss. They couldn't be any happier if they won the gold medal right now. They're all over each other, cheering and chanting. The crowd loves it.
Slager scored for Czechoslovakia along with Hollick and Russell. Tauntaun, Howell, and Ballmer replied for the Swiss. This is how it ended today. The Germans lost to the Finns 4-2, and the Swiss beat the Czechs 4-3. Two great games here on Eurosport. The bottom of the table looks like this. The Finns are still in 5th place. The Czechs are there, the Swiss are there, and the Germans are right at the bottom. Coming up tomorrow on Eurosport, we're going to get a chance to see the top of the table. The Soviets against the Americans. What a game that's going to be. And Sweden take on Canada. That should be one of the toughest games of the tournament. Well, until tomorrow, we hope you'll join us then. From Richard Beaupre and myself, Paul Ferguson, bye for now. The 1991 World Ice Hockey Champion.
Do his job.
Oh, as if Brian Murray didn't have enough to worry about. That's no class, man, no class.
Well, the rubber chicken has just been tossed out onto the ice. That's a little easier to scoop up. Chase on up with it, 1:20 to go, 3rd period. If you're just joining us, the Blues lead Detroit 3-2. Hard-fought contest. Cheveldae to the bench. Extra attacker out. Chase on centers, and Racine will have to reach at center ice. Dumps it back off for Chason. Chason's pass went off Fedorov. Rich Sutter, who scored an empty netter here in game 2, can't even try this time. Fedorov pokes it along. Miller stepped into by Basson. In the final 55 seconds of regulation time. Puck picked up behind, rolled to the front, Butcher up with it, dumps it back off. It's kept alive by Racine, flipped it off Rich Sutter, who's now without a stick. Along the boards it came to Butcher. Butcher flipped, but Racine kept in front. Yzerman all alone, what'll he do? Score! Will it be wiped out? It may be wiped out. They may have ruled Racine did not keep it in, we're not sure. The officials are conferring, and we have not gotten a signal.
Oh, they're waving this off. I didn't see it one way or the other. But one of the most dramatic moments I have ever seen broadcasting has just been nullified, apparently. My, oh my, Steve Yzerman was left all alone in front. Brilliance against brilliance. He deked back and forth 4 different times till he got Riendo down on his back and then shelved it. Ain't gonna count.
Someone has asked for a timeout. We couldn't hear above the noise of the crowd. And we were not able to pick off the announcement that it might have been an offside play. We're just guessing that that was the reason that the situation occurred.
Could there have been a high stick situation touching the puck here, I wonder? Oh, we're not going to see it from that angle, but there's Steve Yzerman's brilliance.
Steve Yzerman argued for 4 more seconds and got them back on the clock. 44 seconds to go in the 3rd period. The Red Wings have to score to force sudden death overtime. They've vacated their net. Go with 6 attackers: Fedorov, Yzerman, Probert, Kevin Miller, as well as Chason and Racine. Rich Sutter and Yzerman in a badgering move there before the face-off. Gerard Gauthier says, we'll do it again. Yzerman wins it. Racine has to go back. Bounced one away from Basson. Forced in by Fedorov off of Scott Stevens' stick. Pumps it to the corner off Miller. Stevens tries to lift it out. Chason challenges. Can't do it yet. The Blues try to force it out. Still can't do it. And a Blue winds up on top of the puck. That means the faceoff will remain in the St. Louis zone with 29 seconds to go. Steve Yzerman will have to win the draw. And it'll be Bob Basson who will step in against him. Off the tie-up. Puck poked loose. Chason kept it alive. Stevens chopped it. Yzerman kept it alive. Still they flip, and the Blues try to get it out. They do. It's jammed along, and now we get an offside call, so a neutralized face-off with 9 seconds to go.
Has it ever looked so difficult to get the puck over a blue line? Man, oh man, the St. Louis Blues have had chance after chance. Finally, they got it out only about 4 inches, but it was called by the linesman offside. Detroit put it back over and touched up very quickly, but boy, the seconds have clicked away now. Nine to go.
Well, you talk about big face-offs. There were some strong keeps in there by Chason and Yzerman, but the St. Louis pressure was just too much. And they were forced back out. I think the Red Wings may be arguing for another second or 2 of time here. This one they will not win.
You know, it didn't seem as if 20 seconds had ticked off the clock to me.
This is the way we'll know.
Yeah, well, there it is. It went from 20 to 9 seconds, didn't it?
You're darn right it did.
That can't happen. Oh, man. Here we go. Look, they're rewinding. All right. Well, justice has been served.
Yeah.
I don't care who you like or who you don't like. I'm glad that gentleman came forward and said, look, something happened here too. They do keep a stopwatch over there as well, do they not, Mike? I mean, they used to all the time, and I'm unaware as to whether or not they still do.
They keep it on hand just in case there's a malfunction, but they don't operate it. That was Gordy Lee from the Minnesota North Stars off-ice crew. We're back to play. Fedorov steps in, gets by 1, but they rule an offside here, and the clock down to 14. You can bet that somebody at the Red Wings bench is watching that clock all the time now to make sure that everything is according to Hoyle. They're not arguing now, so it must have been 5 seconds off that clock. We're down to 14 to go. Yzerman and Basson. One more time. Racine across to Fedorov, who walks in. Fedorov trying to turn Stevens, forced off. Stevens goes down, shovels to Yzerman. One-time shot, ricochets back out, and the Blues are going to win it. finish to a game. The Blues have seen that dream on the chalkboard and on all those many meetings become wonderfully real. Exhausted and victorious, they are together, and the handshakes, and let's just watch.
St. Louis defeat Detroit and history, becoming only the 8th team to come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a series. In the division final, they play the winner of the Chicago-Minnesota series. At the start, all bets were off. Chicago, the team with the best season record in the NHL, surely would win, but someone forgot to tell Minnesota. With the series tied at 2, Game 5 was played in Chicago, and it turned out to be a rout. The Blackhawks beaten 6-0 on home ice. North Stars goaltender John Casey stopped all 25 shots sent his way to shut out Chicago. The teams moved to Minnesota for Game 6. Change in form, Minnesota getting the job done.
Neil Wilkinson from the point. Stu Gavin dogging in, takes it into the boards. Bobby Smith, a fellow shot, and everybody scores!
Chicago, the best regular season team, out in the first round, beaten 4-2 by Minnesota. So the Norris Division final is between St. Louis and the North Stars, again the best of 7 series. In the Smythe Division, Los Angeles eventually overcame the pesky Vancouver Canucks, but it was hard work. With the series tied at 2, Vancouver led Game 5 4-3 in the second period, only to see the Kings turn it around.
Rebound is back in by Jones. Gretzky got one off in front, Sandstrom shoots, he scores!
LA eventually won the game 7-4. Game 6 in Vancouver was also tough, but the Kings got the go-ahead goal through Dave Taylor.
Again, shoots, he scores! Dave Taylor! With a wraparound!
Mike Donnelly added 2 empty net goals for LA as Vancouver saw the series slip away.
Definitely will wrap it up. Donnelly gets his second empty net goal.
The Kings win the series 4-2 and will play the winner of the Calgary-Edmonton series, which proved to be a thriller. Edmonton led the series 3-1, but the Flames came back to win Game 5 in Calgary. Then they leveled the series with an overtime win in Edmonton. Theon Fleury getting the winning goal for the Flames.
Looking for his first goal of the series. Scores!
So on to Game 7 in the Saddle Dome, and after leading 3-0 in the first period, Calgary saw Edmonton come back to send the deciding game to overtime.
And now Tikkanen circles at center. 3 points in the game, a couple of goals for Esa Tikkanen, 6 in the series. Shoots, scores! Esa Tikkanen has won it for the Oilers!
The defending Stanley Cup champions go through, winning the series in overtime of Game 7. They play the Los Angeles Kings in the division final. In the Wales Conference Patrick Division, the Pittsburgh-New Jersey series also went to a 7th game. Played in Pittsburgh, the dominant figure turned out to be Frank Pietrangelo, the Penguins goaltender. He stopped 27 shots on the night to shut out the Devils. Pittsburgh went on to win 4-0.
Great shot and a goal! Phil Bork set it up!
The end of a good series with Pittsburgh going through 4-3. They'll now play the winner of the New York-Washington matchup. Tied at 2 games each, the turning point came in overtime of Game 5. Washington's Dino Ciccarelli with the shot that Mike Richter never saw, and the Capitals win 5-4. They finished the job in the first period of Game 6, scoring on 3 of their first 4 shots. Again proved to be the turning point, with Russ Courtnall getting the winning goal for the Canadians off a pass by Guy Carbonneau.
Here's the pass to Courtnall. Courtnall's getting it on goal. He scores! Courtnall!
Game 6 in Buffalo was a triumph for Montreal. The Canadians